If your Vega's like my Vega, it leaves a lot to be desired in the radio department. We're going to take care of that this time on Burnouts and Rotorblades. Roll the intro. Welcome to the Burnouts and Rotorblades YouTube channel. Let's go do something awesome. First thing we're going to do as part of this install is go ahead and remove this 6-7 screws. The trick is to bring it forward. Unfortunately, the stereo in here is probably from the 90s. It's got a pretty sweet tape deck, removable face for whatever reason. Lean it forward, right up over the steering wheel. It's also got hookups for an external CD player, and I have never seen one of those that actually worked very well. It also doesn't pick up any FM stations, and I'm pretty sure the stock antenna in the Vega's windshield is also busted. The Chevy Vega is one of those weird vehicles that has this antenna in the windshield, and that's great whenever it works, but if your antenna ever cracks or if any of the connection up to the windshield ever fails, then you're stuck with no antenna on your radio. And that's exactly what happened to this Vega. So I went online and I ordered this peel and stick antenna that I can stick directly to the windshield. We're going to put a nice new Bluetooth radio so that I can do hands-free calling and Bluetooth radio through my phone. So I picked up a unit from Amazon for about $30 and a couple of speakers that I'm going to try to set into this stock dash location. That should be enough for me right now, and later on maybe we'll do something a little more substantial. Now, one thing most folks don't do is they don't actually attach this this back safety screw behind the dash. It makes it real simple for thieves, you know, back in the day whenever people had head units, to just go ahead and use the specialty tools like the ones I have here to go ahead and zip your radio out, unplug it or cut the wires, and be gone with it. Whoever installed this thought that this, you know, literally Radio Shack radio was, you know, worth keeping. So they installed this back here. It feels about like a, I don't know, whatever size this one is. 8 mil. Standard Chevy size. Next thing I'm going to do is pull it back forward. Now there's about a bazillion different styles of these things. You can never really be sure which one you have. There's all kinds of kits that you can buy that have different options. Come on now. But, I mean, worst comes to worst, you just smash it out of there. Who cares? That screw out the side was a little unnecessary. There we go. Look at, oh, and this is like, this is special. They put this thing right here is supposed to be like prevent interference or something, but just, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for you to see how the speaker's held in.
On both sides? Oh no, there's a screw on there.
There's a sheet metal screw in the back and then a zip tie up front.
That thing's in there.
I mean, it's held tight, and that zip tie is probably 20 years old.
Yeah, look at how yellow it is.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Just... So one thing I did in preparation for putting this back together was I ordered some screws to replace these mix-match screws. I really didn't want to reuse them. They're all different sizes. They're pretty crusty looking, and the way they're designed is the washer in the back kind of V's into the dash, and the problem with that is it splits this really old plastic. So what I did was I ordered these screws right here that have a washer over the top that's just going to hold back these plastic pieces. They look a lot better. They're black oxidized. So number 8 3/4 inch long screws. That's going to work for most of the dash. Get a little package of 1-inchers in there as well for the entire gauge bezel, and for the actual dash covering trim piece. These are going to work great.
Don't forget to subscribe if you like the content and want to see more like it. And as always, thanks for watching.